Okay, so here we are in the basement, and I'm going to do a comparison here today, one that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, of the US and Japanese cabinets. So in this video we will be comparing this dedicated twin US cab, which is really the nicest version we got of Outrun 2 in the US, to these dedicated singles over here, which is the these are Japanese cabs, and they are quite literally the nicest version of Outrun available anywhere. So just get right down to it. The first big difference is this is a twin cab, as I said. Most of the other Outrun 2s that we got in the US were singles, and they were wood version cabs. Pretty crappy overall. They're kind of they're not really it was a unique cab designed for the US, and it was just a single. It used the cheaper seats, all wood construction, kind of a funky looking, really high rise marquee on it, really just kind of ugly overall. The dedicated twins, you didn't really see a lot of these. And you know, they're based on the old Model 3 style cabs, very similar to them, with the exception of having obviously the Chiro software and the 31K monitors in them. So I do like the twins that we got in the US. They were pretty nice. I like the nice large marquee on it. It has the really nice showcase for the Outrun 2 art, which has the nice clouds and blue skies. I actually prefer that art over the Outrun 2 SP stuff. Like I said, you got the nice large marquee. This is actually a pop card off of a 50-inch Outrun 2 SP. Just kind of have that sitting up there. That didn't go with the US cabs. And you move over here to the Japanese cabs, which are just nicer on every level, really. I kind of touched on this in my emergency call ambulance video, where I talked about the difference in the construction of the cabs being plastic and metal versus the wood and metal that we got here in the US. But I guess the main difference is, in Japan, they came as dedicated singles, not dedicated twins. Now, Sega did release a version of this cabinet, the plastic and metal construction, in a twin for, I think the UK got that cab, and it had is basically an updated version, well, not an updated, the same marquee, single marquee as they used on the Ferrari F355 twins, with the bent plexi face. Those are nice as well, but they're about a half step down from the Japanese cabs, whereas, you know, we're a full step down with what we got in the US. But let's talk about the marquees themselves. The dedicated Japanese cabs got these really nice light boxes for the singles, with the curved plexi face. House the nice pop card up top, which is a rigid foam board. And these pieces are very highly sought after. They were unique to this cab and to this game. Sega never used this light box style on any other game, so you can't scavenge them off another game. You really have to find a dedicated Outrun Japanese cab to get these light boxes. I think there are some companies who have made some reproductions which are close. The plastic color's a little bit off, a little bit different shape, but which, you know, it's nice. I think if that's your only option, it's better than having nothing. But truly, the actual Japanese toppers are much nicer. Interesting story about this cab is I actually found it online, and I reached out and contacted the guy who was selling it in Texas, and I shot him an offer because he was asking, you know, quite a bit for the two cabs, and he politely declined my offer. And his response was that he had received multiple offers for just the toppers. He had multiple people willing to pay $600 just for $600 US just for the 2 toppers, and plus paying shipping to have them sent overseas. So, and this is really primarily because there are a lot of people, myself included, who have set about converting other Japanese cabs to Outrun 2s, and that's, for one, that's a very expensive proposition overall, but it is achievable in that you can basically, from the topper down, you can basically buy everything you need to do it. You can find the red sides if you're patient enough and willing to spend the money on them. You can get the red V-back seats. You can even get reproduction art, which the community has put together and has offered on several occasions. The problem is, once you get above the monitor, these pieces are no longer available. You can't buy them from Sega. Like I said, you have to find them off of a dedicated cab, and quite frankly, I've never seen anybody selling. I've seen the actual marquee plastics a couple of times, but I've never seen anybody selling the light boxes themselves. I'm sure they go for a ton whenever they do come up for sale. So anyway, I was thankfully able to intervene and buy the whole cabinet before some unscrupulous person offered him enough money that he broke up these beautiful dedicated cabs for the toppers. So I was able to keep them whole, bring them home here. So let's talk a little bit about these toppers, if I can get it to focus. They're very nice pieces. Like I said, they're unique to this game, and the marquees themselves are nice in that they kind of did a multi-layered technique here, whereas the Outrun 2 logo is printed on the face. You can actually feel the ink as it's printed on the face of the plexi, and then they did a screening on the back side as well of the clouds and the outline for the lettering and the palm trees and stuff. So it's really quite striking. Looks great, top quality stuff, and then it's actually clear here on the top to allow the light from the marquee light to shine up onto the pop header. And the pop header, along with all the rest of the art on this cab, has this nice foil outline on just about everything, and it just really classy stuff. Looks great in person. I don't know if it's shown up that well on the video, but just amazing quality, and it really is kind of it's a shame that they didn't go to the lengths that they did on this cab in the markets that they released it in, and all the markets they released it in. The UK got some pretty close to these cabs, but again, not quite as nice as what they kept for their home market. Other difference that you might see, like I said, I touched on the foil backed art. That carries throughout the whole cab. Even right here on the instruction, it's a little dark here, but I think you can see my finger reflecting in it. It's all foil all the way around. It goes down to the control panel piece. Again here too, this is foil, whereas in the US it's just, and this one's a little bit beat up, but it's just, you know, printed on, you know, in color. It's just kind of a gray color along with the Get Ready. Not nearly as nice. Once again, same thing down low. You look at your base stickers, they all have the foil backing, the Outrun 2, and then on the sides. Top quality stuff. And there actually is a little bit of a difference. You can see they did the flag colors here. And then over here on the US cab, we got just a generic Outrun 2 with the same art as you see on the marquee, along with the Sega and AM2 logos. Interestingly enough, the side art is actually the exact same art, just in differing qualities. One of the things you see in the later US wooden cabs, the twins, you see we get these pieces that are clearly modeled. This is just a plastic cover for the wooden side, but it is clearly modeled after the Japanese sides. And you really only saw this from like the initial D series on, and it kind of, you know, before that they had a different shaped plastic cover they used for like the Daytonas and Super GTs, and I always found it interesting that they switched midstream. But you know, here when we get the two cabs side by side, you can see why they did it. So for the side art, it's actually the exact same piece of art, only touched up for the US. It's the exact same shape and size on each cab. The difference is, obviously they removed the Japanese writing. I think that's it. They filled in the holes. Obviously there's holes down here for the actual cab hardware. Those are filled in over here, but it's the exact same piece of art. So for the US they were able to just touch it up a little bit and basically produce it as is. The difference being, obviously, the Japanese is a nicer quality. It's glossy. I'm not sure if you can pick up the light reflecting off it, but it's a glossy finish. In the US we got a matte finish, so just looks a little bit nicer on the cab. But again, it's kind of interesting when you look at them side by side and see why exactly or how close they are in dimensions. Obviously the Japanese piece is textured, it's flat textured plastic, whereas here it's a shiny kind of ABS style. Interestingly enough, one of the differences that I just noticed was this recess right here. This is, I don't know who stuck this on here, somebody stuck this fast sticker on it, but this recess is actually shaped to hold a Sega logo, which you see on a lot of the older cabs. My emergency call ambulance has it, but over here on the Japanese cab, no recess at all. It's just nice and flat, and that was a change I'm not sure when they made, because like I said, most of the other Japanese cabs I've seen have had that recess and have actually had Sega logos in there. Moving on, most of the hardware is the same as far as the steering components and the actual game hardware. Big difference between the two cabs is the monitors. Japanese cabs came with a much nicer top-end CRT, whereas we have a Sanwa that we got here. And you know, when you look at them side by side, not sure if it's shown in this video or not, no comparison. The Toshiba PFX and the Japanese cab just blows away not only the Sanwa, but pretty much any other CRT I've ever seen. Amazing color, clarity, sharpness, just top quality. Other differences that I've noted in the past, other videos, we have hard plastic seats here. The Japanese cabs came with this nice cushioned piece, both on the seat back and bottom. Let's see what else. The only thing that is kind of a letdown on all of the Outrun 2 cabs is that they really only use the speakers up front. Even though they came with these nice gold box seats, there's actually no gold box speakers. And in Japan they use actually a cover that I've never seen on any other cab. It's a little plastic, actually almost kind of a leathery feeling cap that they capped off the speaker holes with. In the US they just use regular grills. There's nothing behind there, it's just a traditional grill. Also in both cabs you do not have just as you don't have the gold box speakers, you don't have the subwoofer that goes under the seat. So I know there are some people who have converted theirs to include those pieces, but they don't have it here. So that's kind of it. I just want to give a quick overview of the two, some of the things that I found interesting and the differences between them. I'll probably do a little bit more in-depth video on the Outrun 2s, just as a one-off video. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them in down below.